Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news at 6 o'clock. 2 dead in a crash. Roxborough Street in Durham has been closed for hours after the crash that happened at 2 o'clock this morning. On the left-hand side of your screen is a live look. What police tell us about what happened there.
And it's a chilly start. Temperatures are in the 30s. We're even down near freezing in a few places. I'll show you why. We start a nice warm-up this week.
A diverging diamond on the way. The work that will have Airport Boulevard closed beginning tonight, and what you'll need to know about the changes you'll see when it reopens Monday.
Plus, honoring Bragg, the ceremony happening today to officially recognize the post's renaming and the person who is now its namesake. We have that and so many other stories, weather and traffic to get you caught up on your Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your routine here. We are honoring this sunrise.
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness. How about that for your Friday? Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. It is cold out there, but this is a beautiful start.
It is. A lot of cloud cover out there right now. This is all clouds here with just a little thin hole in the clouds as we're looking over Franklinton. And you may see this scene too. If you look over toward the east, you might see a little hole in the clouds. It's pretty, but again, pretty gray out there for us this morning. 37 is our temperature. Our wind is now out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. As that wind starts to pick up later this afternoon, we'll see more warm air pushing in. We'll see gusts 15 to 20 today. Not as windy as it was yesterday or the day before, but that wind will actually help to warm things up for us today. It's 31 in Southern Pines and Fayetteville, 32 in Goldsboro, 31 in South Hill. So there may be some frost on windshields in some places. And we do have a good bit of cloud cover today. We're going to see anywhere from about half of the sky to as much as 80% of the sky covered with clouds on and off today. Our high temperature, 60 degrees, but a big jump in our temperature tomorrow. We'll talk about how long that will last. Ken?
6:01, Elizabeth. We are staying on top of some breaking news right there in Durham. A crash, a deadly crash, albeit, shutting down North Roxborough Street between Gear Street and Trinity Avenue. And that's where we find WRAL's Eric Miller live on the scene. You've been there since we came on the air at 4:30. It's still an active scene. Bring us up to date on what's happening now, Eric.
Ken, this all started just after 2 o'clock, and 4 hours later, investigators are still on this scene. You take a look here behind me. You can see police here. You can see crime scene tape. You can see investigators out here. You take a look at this video shot earlier. You can see skid marks in the middle of the road, as well as evidence markers scattered all over the ground. We know that 2 people died here in this single vehicle crash. Another 4 were rushed to the hospital. One of those people has life-threatening injuries. We're still working to learn what exactly happened here, what exactly led up to this crash, as well as the identities of those involved. But we do know this is going to be a pretty significant headache for drivers. North Roxborough Street, one of the main arteries for this city. Ken, you're tracking the best ways for drivers to get around this as the morning commute gets underway.
Absolutely, that it is in terms of being very busy. So you're just waking up with us, you're wondering at exactly what's going on here. But if you're on the east side of North Roxborough Street, North Alston Avenue is really your best bet. If you're on the west side of North Roxborough Street, North Mangum Street is an excellent alternative to staying away from what's happening there on North Roxborough Street. Of course, we'll stay on top of that and keep you updated. Elsewhere, we're not seeing any major incidents on any of our major routes, all delay-free at this hour. Because traffic is constantly changing, we want you to, if you're getting into your car, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
All right, thank you, Ken. And we are working to learn more about this crash on Pool Road in Raleigh. This happened just after midnight near I-440. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows how badly damaged this car was. Officers on the scene tell us this was a single car crash. They say they believe the car was speeding. Police have not said if anyone was hurt. And today, students across the state will put a safety plan into action. They'll practice what to do during a tornado warning. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Aversboro Elementary in Garner. And Kelsey, this comes just 2 days after we actually had tornado warnings statewide.
Yes, Michelle, it does. And this morning, schools across the state will be preparing for this tornado drill that's set to start in the next few hours. So Aversboro Elementary is just one of the schools that's participating in this. This drill comes after 2 tornado warnings were issued in our viewing area Wednesday. Sky 5 flew over the damage after that severe weather hit Wilson. You can see trees that fell on homes as a result of strong winds. Today's tornado drill is a part of severe weather preparedness week. The National Weather Service and the State Department of Public Safety are teaming up to help keep North Carolinians safe. That tornado drill is scheduled to start this morning at 9:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Garner.
Starting tonight, part of Airport Boulevard at I-40 is closing for 3 days. It is to prepare for the opening of a new diverging diamond. Work starts 10 o'clock tonight. The road should be reopened by Monday morning. And this is what a diverging diamond looks like. You see it here on this graphic here. This one is on Jones Sausage Road. Maybe you've driven through that one or the one on Western Boulevard right near the Beltline. Traffic briefly shifts to the other side of the road in order to get through that intersection.
Fort Bragg will officially recognize its name change today. The 18th Airborne Corps will host a ceremony at 11 o'clock this morning to mark Fort Liberty's transition back to Fort Bragg. This time, Fort Bragg will be named in honor of Private First Class Roland Bragg, who rescued fellow paratroopers during World War II. The ceremony will include the unveiling of a new sign and uncasing of the colors. Earlier this week, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that he's reviving the old name of a second military base. Fort Moore in Georgia will again be called Fort Benning.
A driver accused of causing a crash and then trying to run away was caught by Wake County deputies. A crash happened around 8 last night on US 70 Business near Guy Road in the Garner area. Deputies say the driver was impaired and rear-ended another car. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was badly injured, but still tried to get away. We're working to learn more about any charges that driver may face and the other driver who has minor injuries. Today, we'll get a snapshot of the labor market to see when the jobs report, or when we see the jobs report come out. First one from President Donald Trump's first month in office. Now, the February jobs report is due out at 8:30 this morning, and economists predict it'll show growth of about 170,000 jobs and the unemployment rate holding steady at 4%. There are reports, though, that indicate layoff announcements from companies soared in February to their highest monthly level since 2020. A big reason for that was the effort from the Department of Government Efficiency to trim the federal workforce.
And today we'll also get more information about the investigation into the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. New Mexico officials plan to hold a news conference this afternoon. The Santa Fe County Sheriff says that Hackman and Arakawa may have died up to 2 weeks before their bodies were found on February 26th. Tests for carbon monoxide poisoning were negative. Authorities do not suspect any foul play.
State lawmakers are one vote away from finalizing a $500 million Hurricane Helene relief package. It's expected to take place, that vote, next Tuesday. State lawmakers got an update from Governor Stein's Helene recovery team yesterday. They said federal money will take several months to arrive in a best case scenario. They say state money is needed to get the rebuilding process started as soon as possible.
25% tariffs on many imports from Canada and Mexico now will not go into effect until next month. President Trump signed the 30-day exemption yesterday. Mexico's president says she will not announce any new reciprocal measures against the U.S. at this time. Canada is holding off on a second round of tariffs on American goods as well, but is keeping others in place. President Trump promises tariffs will benefit the U.S. economy in the long term.
The NHL's trade deadline is 3 o'clock this afternoon. The Carolina Hurricanes roster, we're going to have to wait and see if there's any shakeup on it as the team looks to fine-tune itself for the playoffs. Last night at the Lenovo Center, the Canes had fans on the edge of their seats right to the final buzzer. Tied at 2. Less than 20 seconds left. Seth Jarvis steals the puck, puts it right behind the Bruins goaltender, and the Canes get the win over Boston 3-2 in that game that was broadcast right here on WRAL. Afterwards, we talked with Canes fans about the exciting finish.
Jarvis is unbelievable. That was an unbelievable play.
They always have the ability to come back, even from, if they didn't start out so well.
Hey, it's how you finish. And when you have the 100th consecutive sellout crowd behind you, Canes fans loved it at the Lenovo Center. It's a streak that dates back to February 2023.
Time now 6:09. Coming up, a mid-air explosion. The investigation ahead for SpaceX after its second rocket breakup in the last 2 months.
Keeping families safe, how the father who lost a daughter to a shooting is working with lawmakers to make change.
And we'll see more cloud cover today than we did yesterday, but there's a thin spot in the clouds as we're watching this beautiful sunrise right now. I'll talk about chilly temperatures to start, but a nice warm up in our forecast.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
.612, sun starting to come up, 34 in Wilson. Wilson fairly clear right now, but we're not seeing that everywhere. A good bit of cloud cover for Durham and for Fayetteville, even though you can see a little bit of a hole in the clouds. That's the way things are going to go today. It'll feel cloudier than it did yesterday, but we'll definitely have some sunshine peeking through. And with a shift in our wind, we do warm up somewhat today. But it is 34 in Wilson, 37 in Durham, and 31 in Fayetteville. So we're near freezing in some places where you can see some frost on the windshield. Fayetteville, like I mentioned, it's 31. 33 Holly Springs right now, 34 in Garner and in Cary, as well as Rocky Mount and Goldsboro. So chilly to begin with, but those cool temperatures can make for a good running weather. This afternoon, we'll climb up to around 60. We'll jump all the way into the 70s tomorrow. I'll show you why, but how quickly the temperatures will drop. Ken?
Happening now, here's your window to the traffic happening on I-87 on Smithfield Road. Traffic is picking up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of other major routes and communities to the east of Raleigh, Zebulon, 64, Highway 401, US 1 and Wake Forest, all free and clear and delay-free at this time. In less than 5 minutes, we're going to update you on this deadly crash that has North Rockefeller Street shut down between Gear Street and Trinity Avenue. That's coming up in less than 5 minutes.
Ken, I'm also keeping my eye on a situation regarding Buffalo Road in Garner. We were actually on the scene. We saw you video not too long ago of this pickup truck that was involved in some kind of crash, and we were there right at the moment it was on that tow truck being taken away. Not quite clear to that just yet. We're trying to reach out to investigators here in the WRAL newsroom. Another thing that I'm tracking right here is a situation going in Paris right now where an unexploded World War II bomb has stopped travel there for the trains. I'm going to dig a little bit more into it and have you an update here in just a little bit.
Thanks, Chris. A new effort to require safe gun ownership is named after 8-year-old Genesis Dockery. She was killed when another child shot her gun that had been lost. And now state lawmakers are filing new legislation to enhance public safety by tracking lost or stolen guns. Genesis died in July of 2023. Her father, Fawn Dockery, has turned his pain into purpose. He's worked with lawmakers on the Genesis Firearm Accountability Act. It would require firearm owners to report lost or stolen weapons within 48 hours of discovering that the weapon is missing. Senator Val Applewhite is one of those bill sponsors.
From what I am hearing from law enforcement, a lot of the weapons that are found on the streets in criminal activity are weapons that have been stolen.
And now that it has been filed, the bill needs to go through committees. Applewhite says that she hopes it's a smooth process because she believes this bill will save lives.
Pope Francis' health continues to progress. He remains what's termed reserved but stable in a Rome hospital. For the first time since he was hospitalized last month, we are hearing from him in an audio message.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your prayers for my health from the square. I accompany you from here. May God bless you and the Virgin protect you. Thank you.
St. Peter's Square erupted in applause after that pre-recorded message was played ahead of the nightly rosary prayer. The Vatican says Pope Francis has not had any more episodes of respiratory failure and he does not have a fever.
The FAA is requiring SpaceX to perform an investigation after a rocket broke apart after launching from Texas, sending debris falling over parts of Florida and the Caribbean. Look at this video. SpaceX lost contact with the rocket minutes into the test flight, causing it to fall apart and come tumbling down. The first stage booster successfully returned to the pad. Debris prompted ground stops at four Florida airports. This incident comes nearly 2 months after another test flight explosion over Turks and Caicos.
A musical, an underground market, and a kid-sized career showcase. It's all coming up this weekend in the Triangle.
Yeah, let's start with a Tony Award-winning musical showing in Durham. Shucked is playing this weekend at the DPAC. The musical comedy is about a woman looking for answers about a corn blight in her small town. There are shows tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and tickets are still available.
Raleigh Underground Market is happening this Sunday. It's a monthly event and concert series happening at Midtown Park. There'll be more than 45 local vendors, food trucks, beer and wine, and of course, good music.
And Marble's Kid Museum will host the Future Me Fair tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. Kids can meet representatives from a variety of businesses, including the Carolina Ballet, Carolina Hurricanes, Burt's Bees, the North Carolina Courage, the Raleigh Police Department, and Wake Tech. The event is included with your museum admission. For more on this event and others, head to WRAL.com and search Out and About. I hope the kids bring their resumes with them.
Is future you ready for the weekend?
Listen, I am very ready for the weekend. Yeah.
This sunrise is just incredible. Yeah. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Ours is better than yours right now.
Yeah, all right. You guys win. So we are seeing a lot more cloud cover than we did yesterday. We take a live look at Fayetteville. A little bit of a hole in the clouds there, so that sunrise is going to be pretty. But Apex, Chapel Hill, I mean, even here at Terminal 2, lots of cloud cover right now. We'll see the clouds coming and going, but it will certainly feel a bit grayer than it did yesterday. Not going to see rain today. Our next best chance comes on Sunday. That's our next big weather maker. The rain is trending southward with our long range models, but some of our short range models still want to leave a little bit of rain across our area on Sunday. So the models are differing. Stay tuned as we continue to get more of the model runs in. We'll update it for you, but just be on the lookout for that potential for Sunday. Here it is right now, moving across Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. High pressure keeps things nice and dry for us today. And so here's a look at the potential on Sunday. This is a look at probably what's the best case scenario for Sunday, where we have that rain mainly just in the southern counties. So everybody south of Raleigh has a better chance of seeing rain than, say, from Raleigh northward if that low tracks to the south. But again, one of our high-res models just came in with more of that rain all the way across the viewing area. So we'll just keep our eye on that. It could be as much as a half an inch of rain closer to Fayetteville, and then very little rain if we don't see that drifting any farther north. What we feel confident about is that Saturday will be gorgeous, mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy, temperatures in the low 70s. Sunday will definitely be cooler with highs in the 50s and more cloud cover. The big question is how much rain. We could definitely use some rain. The big change in our update from yesterday was part of our viewing area went under severe drought. Everything else was pretty much the same, from abnormally dry to moderate drought. Last week, the state only had 4% in terms of severe drought, and this week 11%. Of course, the numbers don't include what we saw yesterday because they shut off the data. They stopped collecting it on a Tuesday. Saturday night, we go back to daylight saving time, and so we do have more daylight at the end of the day. Sunday's going to be a chilly day, but look at this. We can see our first 80-degree day of the year on Wednesday. I'll show you how close that is to normal. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now. North Roxborough Street remains closed at this hour and will be that way for several hours as a result of this deadly crash there on North Roxborough Street between Gear Street and Trinity Avenue. Let's take a live look at that scene right now with the help of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see it's still a very active scene. You've got first responders and a number of police units still on that scene. Crime scene tape up. What we know is that 2 people have died. 4 were transported to the hospital. One of those people transported with critical injuries. We've got reporter Eric Miller on that scene giving us an account of what's happening. He'll have a live report at the bottom of the hour. But what we do know, if you're on the east side of North Roxborough Street, North Alston Avenue, it's really your best bet in terms of avoiding North Roxborough Street. If you're on the west side, North Mangum Street is your best option. But again, we'll keep you updated this morning here in the WRAL Traffic Center. If you're getting ready to head out the door, make sure you tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. It's really been a rough flu season. The reasons doctors in the Triangle say we are seeing a higher number of deaths this year.
And a special game. What to expect when 2 teams from the up-and-coming Professional Women's Hockey League showed their stuff tonight in Raleigh.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Steve Carell is helping kids go to the prom in fire-damaged California.
Yeah, Ken Smith's here now with what's trending, Ken.
Yeah, Michelle and Jeff, I still have fond memories of my prom. So check this out. This is the video he posted to Instagram, and it was shown to students at 6 LA area high schools. Carell said he's partnering with a charity to pay for prom tickets for more than 800 students. That's about $175,000, and you see the excitement right there.
Oh, yeah, and classic Carell delivery,
Yeah.
deadpanned, said, if you've already paid for your prom, you can get reimbursed by the charity as well. So this is just great news all the way around. He said, it's a pretty good deal.
It's an awesome deal. Yeah, that is amazing. I love that.
I love it. Hey, Millie Bobby Brown trending this morning. Of course, she's been in the news a lot lately, and now we're learning that's not even her real name.
Oh, boy.
What?
In a BuzzFeed interview with Electric Slate co-star Chris Pratt, she revealed her real name is Millie Bonnie Brown.
Bonnie, not Bobby. Yeah, she says that Bonnie is actually her real name she was given at birth, and Bobby is her stage name, and she did it just for fun. She said, you know, I thought, why not? I'll be Millie Bobby Brown instead. But yeah, she's had a lot of people talking about her image lately. A lot of people saying she looks like she had plastic surgery done. What is she doing? And she said, listen, I'm getting older. It's what you do. I'm not the same person I was in season 1 of Stranger Things. I'm not a little kid anymore. Yeah. And people just want her to stay the same. But yeah. she's not 11, you know, quite literally.
No, she's 21.
Exactly.
She's getting older.
She's getting older. So that's what you do. You age.
She looks great.
Yeah.
Ken, thanks. International soccer is coming back to Chapel Hill, and Mexico will take on Turkey at Kenan Stadium June 10th. Between the teams and the fans, many who will travel from all over the country and outside of it, the town of Chapel Hill expects to bring in $7 million. Tickets go on sale next Monday, 10 a.m.
A NICU baby at UNC's Children's Hospital in Chapel Hill is ready to cheer on the Tar Heels. Oh my goodness, how sweet. Nurses in the neonatal intensive care unit helped this little one gear up for this weekend's Battle of the Blues. The hospital tells us her parents, of course, are huge Tar Heels fans. Her dad is also known to snuggle with her while watching games on his phone. Oh my goodness.
They picked their side.
Yeah.
For today, we're going to see more cloud cover than we did yesterday, but less wind. Our winds will be gusting about 15 to 20, which will still feel breezy. That wind will help to bring some warmer air in. I'll show you how much warmer for tomorrow coming up.
And all of our local teams are playing in the ACC tournament quarterfinals today. The matchups is still ahead as the women's bracket shakes out.
And we are staying on top of breaking news in Durham this morning. 2 people are dead, 4 others hurt after a crash on Roxborough Street. What we know about what happened as you look live at that scene right now, and what you need to know about getting around this.